everybody. Welcome on in the stream. Hi, Luckliff. Hi, Dave Moore, aka the Snack Word. I hope y'all are having an amazing evening, an amazing Thursday evening. I mean, we've got a full night of content ahead. Of course, I was just on Project X Talk over on the Save the Game Media channel, and then we're doing this SEGA Genesis live stream, and then we're actually doing an Extra Life stream afterwards to give away prizes for Extra Life. So we've basically got a whole night ahead of us here at Carpool Gaming. So of course I wanted to warm up the show a little bit, get us going with the SEGA Genesis Mini, because I'm super excited to actually check this out. I got to check it out a little bit today. Before the stream started. I wanted to make sure obviously everything was working and stuff like that. In fact, I'll even switch over to it now, and we can see, because basically if we just leave it idle, it'll just play kind of like the attract mode for all of the games. So we're going to kind of dive through, look at the interface, check out some of the games, and go from there. In fact, there's going to be some Japanese only games that we're even going to get a chance to check out too, which is going to be pretty sweet. So yeah, because this is, of course, even though I did get the Genesis Mini 2, because I live in Canada, it was actually like really tough to get the Genesis Mini 2, the North American version. So I actually had to settle for the Japanese version, which is totally fine by me, because I mean, it has all the English games on it anyways, plus, some Japanese only games. But that's the reason why I've got, the Japanese stuff going on. I want one, but I don't want to pay for the shipping. Yeah, the Snack Network. I saw like the shipping was really bad for the United States. Honestly, though, to get it from Japan, it was actually fairly cheap, because the yen itself is kind of in a precarious spot where it's actually not worth a ton. Combined with the fact that the console itself wasn't that expensive in Japan. So it was actually like, for me, it was getting it to Canada. It was actually fairly cheap, and it was actually definitely much cheaper to go that route versus even getting the North American version if I could get it shipped to my house. Yeah. Hello, Lee Navarro and Garrett Bland. I hope you all are having a wonderful evening. So let's check out the interface for the Genesis Mini 2. So first off, we got some grooving music in the background here. I think that it mostly just cycles through different songs from different games, and there's some new music from Yuzo Koshiro in here as well, which is really sweet. But actually, one of the cool things is actually, if you go to the languages section of the menu, we've got it set to English right now, which is why we've got kind of the Genesis overlay here. But if you actually change the language to Japanese, for example, it actually gives you the Mega Drive 2 like Japanese experience, which is really cool. So you can see all the games with the Japanese artwork instead of the North American artwork, and this is how you actually play the Japanese versions of the North American games. And likewise, if I put the language to French, it then also does the Mega Drive 2 European setup as well. So if we wanted to play like the European versions of the games, they're all here, which is pretty cool as well. Of course, I'd have to play them in French, but you can still technically play the European versions of these games, except for, of course, some of these games that unfortunately are just only the Japanese only versions in there. But yeah, I love how they do that. That's pretty cool. And of course, Garrett Bland seems to agree. That's crazy. Absolutely. Again, going into it, I was expecting to have to, deal with the Japanese versions, and then, it would have the English versions in it. They did confirm that ahead of time, but I wasn't expecting to get like all of the different flavors. So if you wanted to travel to like a bunch of different regions, because there's a lot of language settings here too, like French, Italian, German, Spanish, traditional Chinese, and Korean. And I think they all have their own little quirks about them, which is really cool. So that's one of the things I love about the console itself. I think it's pretty sweet. I love just how much work like SEGA poured into putting this together. Because you could definitely tell like someone at SEGA was really passionate about this project. So let's go through some of the games and show off kind of what we've got here. And likewise, chat, if there's a specific game you want me to check out and show off, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to start picking games at random. But of course, we've got Afterburner 2, Alien Soldier, Atomic Runner, Bonanza Brothers, and this is Captain Tsubasa, based off the soccer anime. So this is actually a soccer game that is actually Japanese only. And then we've got Columns 3, The Revenge of Columns. I didn't know that, the columns themselves could have revenge against other columns, but that's a thing that exists. Crusader of Senti, that's actually an Atlas RPG, which is pretty cool to have here on the console. We've got Devian P, and that's a brand new game. Notice if I click on it, release year 2022, because this game was actually canceled. And never actually got an actual release. People on the internet have played it before because like the ROM ended up actually getting leaked. So I think like the community mostly finished this game. But they did include like a version that Sega actually went back and finished in this collection, which is pretty cool. We've also got Dodge Denpai, which I believe is like a volleyball game that's Japanese only. Echo the Dolphin, but what's interesting about Echo is that they actually have both Echo 1 and 2 as well. So if you select Echo and go into it, it'll allow you to play the second game as well, both for the Sega CD. Then we've got Fantasy Zone, which originally only came out on the Master System, but they actually created a brand new port for the Genesis just for this collection, which again, really, really cool. We've got Fatal Fury 2, which is a fighting game. Final Fight, which is like an arcade beat-em-up game. And this is probably like the best way to play Final Fight outside of like the modern beat-em-ups collection that came out. Because this was like very close to the arcade port, which was really cool as far as Sega CD games were concerned. Game Ground, which is like an action RPG. Grandia, which is like a tank shoot-em-up game. King Colossus, I have no idea what this is. This is some interesting box art, though, with like this shirtless dude with a sword. It looks very Japanese. I think that's a Japanese only game, but I'm not sure. We got Lightning Force, which is a shoot 'em up game. The two Lunar games, which unfortunately, I'm sad to say, are not in English. They are Japanese only, unfortunately, which kills me a little bit inside, because these games are awesome, but they are stupidly expensive. Mansion of the Hidden Souls. This is like a mystery game, but I've never played this game, so I actually don't know too much about it. I know it's like very FMV heavy, so it's got that going on. You got Mega Panel, which is like this puzzle game with this bunny girl on the cover, sliding blocks. Again, I'm pretty sure that's Japanese only, and I don't know anything about that game. We've got Midnight Resistance, which uses 8 mega memory, apparently, according to the box here. Again, I don't know anything about this game either. I'm guessing it's some kind of shooting game of some kind. We've got Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water, based off an anime that came out, and I don't think this game came out in North America, so I'm pretty sure that's Japanese only. Knife Striker, which is like a Japanese only racing game, which is pretty cool. And of course, we got Night Trap in this collection, so we're gonna have to play some Night Trap later. We'll get to that. Curious. I had forgotten that this game was made by Hasbro, by the way, the same company that makes G.I. Joe and Transformers and Magic the Gathering. So, but then we got Outrun, classic racing game, great soundtrack. Again, we'll have to probably pop that on at some point. Party Quiz Mega Q 2022. So this is like a brand new quiz game that is for the Genesis. Unfortunately, it's only in Japanese, so we really can't play this one. I won't know what any of the questions say. And also, we've got Party Quiz Sega Q as well, which again, more trivia games that are Japan only. Phantasy Star 2, great RPG that came out in North America, so we do have the North American version here. Funny enough is about Phantasy Star 2, there's actually a really good version of this on Xbox, which is backwards compatible, because it did come out on 360 as an Xbox Live Arcade game, and then they actually just ported it to Series X and One X as well as a backwards compatible title. We got Popful Mail here, which is an action RPG. Fantastic game, but it's Japanese only, and we don't have the English version, unfortunately, which, again, just kind of kills me inside, because that game's like a $1,000 game on Sega CD. So I kind of wish we got the North American version. We got Populous, which, of course, that's that Peter Molyneux, like, city-building game. That, again, is weird that they ported to consoles, since I mostly think of that as a PC-only game. And then we've got Puzzle and Action Enchant R. You apparently hunt vampires, conduct an orchestra, shoot down UFOs, and much more in 20 mini games. That's pretty cool. So it's like a mini game collection, but also an RPG. Ranger X, this is like a really good side scroller. We're gonna play this one at some point. Robo Aleste, I think that's also like a side scrolling shooting game from Tengen, which of course is actually otherwise known as Atari. But that was the name they went under to publish games on Nintendo, since they wanted to publish more than games than just under the Atari name, so they adopted the Tengen name. We got Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Dragon of Destiny. I will probably never open this game ever here because I do not like Romance of the Three Kingdoms style games. And of course, another game that kind of kills me, Shin Megami Tensei, the OG Shin Megami Tensei on Sega CD. Once again, cool RPG, but it's not in English. It's in Japanese only, unfortunately. So that is one that we will not be able to play. However, a fantastic RPG, Shining Force CD, a stupidly expensive game, and rightfully so. This game's awesome. Really, really great game from Camelot. We also got Shining in the Darkness here, which is a first-person role-playing game, also from Camelot as well. Really, really cool and interesting game that I just didn't really get how to play when I was a kid, when we were playing it on Sega Channel. But I did play it a lot of years later and really enjoyed it. So it's definitely a good game there. We got Silky Lip, which is a game I just discovered today by prepping for this. We're gonna get back to this one later. This is like a magical girl RPG that unfortunately is Japanese only, but it has an amazing intro that I feel like we need to watch together, chat. I feel like this needs to be a thing. Next up, we got Sylphid, which is like a side-scrolling shooter. It's the port of a PC game that I really enjoyed, and yeah, I'm glad to see it here. I take it back. I know none of these games. I don't need it. Again, you have to understand, Dave, this is the Japanese console. So the North American console actually comes with different games. So there's a lot of these Japanese-only games, like Shin Megami Tensei or Lunar, are actually replaced by games like Shadow Dancer or Revenge of Shinobi, or Shining Force 2. So it actually has some slightly different variation in the games for the North American version, which is pretty cool. Does this have Super Off-Road? Riboflavin asks. It does not, unfortunately, as we get to the Super section. There's a couple Super games, but no Super Off-Road, I'm afraid. But continuing where we left off, Sonic CD, absolute classic game, one of the best games on the Sega CD. We'll have to check that out later. We got Sorcerian, which I think is a Neon Falcom RPG. I've never played this one. I hope it's in English because I do want to try it out at some point. We got Space Harrier 2. Basically, they did like a smoothed out version because this game did originally come out on Genesis, but they basically turned up the frame rate on it. It actually runs really well. So that's actually a pretty cool addition. We got Splatter. This is another one of those games that never really came out, and it's included in this collection because they went back and finished it, which is pretty cool. We got Splatterhouse 2. A game I'm actually excited to play because I've only played Splatterhouse the first one. I've never played Splatterhouse 2, and you fight a whole bunch of monsters in that one. We got Star Cruiser, another like 3D graphics kind of space shooter. This one's kind of a product of his time, and I don't know how fun it'll be today. We got Star Mobile. This is like a puzzle game that uses stars, which is interesting. This just came out. The Snack Network asks, hold on, does Sonic CD have the good music intro? So it does have Sonic Boom, but we also have the Japanese version. So we've got both the Japanese and North American versions. So we can totally check that out later in a bit. We got Starblade. This is like a first-person on-rails flight simulator game. It's pretty fun if you like, on-rails shooting games like Star Fox. We got Super Locomotive, which is like a train game that they decided to add in this collection. This is brand new as well. We've got Super Street Fighter 4, the new Challengers. And since they included the 6-button controller with this console, will be actually be able to play that game properly because you'll have all 6 buttons. The Ninja Warriors, which is like an arcade port for Sega CD. This version never came out in the United States, but we do have the Japanese version to play, and that one plays totally fine because it's just a side-scrolling beat-em-up. We got Truxton, which is like another like side-scrolling shooting game. Viewpoint, this is like an arcade game, mostly like a flight shooter as well. Virtual Racing, which is a game that I'm actually surprised is in this collection because it barely ran on the Genesis, and in most emulators totally have a hard time running this game, but it actually runs like flawlessly on here, so we can check that out later. And then versus Puyo Puyo Sun, this is like a 2-player only game that they included, where you actually play Puyo Puyo against 2 different people. So we can't play that, unfortunately, because we don't have a second person. And then last couple games, we got Wonder Mega's collection. This is like a more quiz games and stuff, but it's Japanese only, so we can't really play that. We've also got this, like sumo wrestling game. I've never played it. I'm sure we can probably get through it, not knowing what any of the text says. There's like a mahjong game here as well. And then, of course, another Romance of the Three Kingdoms style game, but it's in Japanese only, so it's not there. And likewise, I don't even know what this is. I can't even read it. You play as a little wizard from a magical land in this Game Freak developed title. Oh, that's cool that Game Freak has the game on here. But unfortunately, it's in Japanese only, and there you have it. Sonic Spinball, I can't see, it says, unfortunately, no Sonic Spinball. In fact, in the Japanese release, Sonic CD is the only Sonic release on the collection. The North American version has Sonic 3D Blast as well, because the original Genesis Mini had Sonic 1, 2, and Spinball on it, and Dr. Robotnik's Bean Bean Machine. So they didn't want to duplicate games across the 2 mini consoles. But let's hop into Sonic CD, because we're going to check out the intro. And of course, we get the option of the European version or the US version. So we're gonna hop into the US version. And of course, we got the thing that brings me back to the childhood, the little like Sega for the Sega CD loading screen going into any of our Sega CD games. And of course, we've got like Sonic Boom already going kind of in the intro here. I'll even turn it up a little bit while when we go into it. Oh, hold on. I forgot I have to, I think I have to let it kind of go there. Because I want to watch the intro. The intro is really, really, really good. Can you not see Are You Blonde Like Me? Maybe. Just a little bit. Yes, the good music. I know, but the thing is, that's actually a contrary opinion, Snack Network, because I know a lot of people actually say the Japanese music is better than the North American version. I just really like into the North American music because this is just what I grew up with. Because I grew up with Sonic CD. I was one of those kids on the block that had a Sega CD. So I'm like really into the OG Sega CD. All right, here we go. Time for the intro. Let's do this. Look at that graininess. Look at it. I had it on PC as a kid. Oh, that's awesome. I had forgotten that it came out on PC as well.
Take a chance, 'cause there is no circumstance that you can't handle. When you use your mind, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom keeps you running faster. Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, save the planet from disaster. To the light, it's a supersonic flight. Gotta keep it
God, that intro is so good. Like when I played this game for the first time as a kid, like that blew my mind. Like I couldn't believe like we had like full motion video in our games, and it like I would boot up the game just to watch the intro over and over again. Like that was the thing that I did as a kid. Because I, again, just love this game so much. And again, just stuff like that just totally blew my mind on the Sega CD back in, 1992, when we were just not used to that type of thing. Like if you play a normal game, there are, cinematics in other Sega CD games. But that intro just totally blew me away. Along with some of the other stuff that we'll watch a little bit later, because some of the other Sega CD games in here are pretty awesome too. I beat Sonic Spinball in NSO expansion pack using the rewind feature when it came to Switch. That's pretty cool. We finally agree on something. Snack Network. I didn't know we actually disagreed so much on things. I thought we had a good thing going, Dave. But I guess we disagree all the time. But I'm glad we both agree on Sonic CD because clearly this is just the better version of it, and everyone knows it. Although, again, like, I love, too, that this is so readily available on modern consoles. Whether it's in the Sonic Origins collection or, it's backwards compatible on Series X. Like, I think there's a lot of great places to play this game now. And if y'all miss Sonic CD, this game is really good. Especially if you like Sonic. Like, this is probably, like... Honestly, this is still probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite Sonic. Although I keep forgetting, it's bugging me a little bit because I'm so used to the new version of this, where when you do the ground charge, you kind of get stuck in place in this version. But if you play like any of the modern versions of it, it actually just plays like the other Sonic games. So it just bugs me a little bit. What intro does Origins have? Origins actually has both intros. So it has the Japanese and the North American versions. Just like it has the Japanese and original and North American soundtracks for the whole game. Yeah, I got to get used to that the spin dash in this game because it's been a long time since I've played just the Sega CD native version of this game, so I'm a little not used to the controls. But even like just going into an area like this, like the music itself is just really good, and I love how it like fits in with this area, and it kind of reminds me of other Sonic games as well. And then also, going back to the future or in the past, like you get different music depending on, what time frame you're in, which is pretty cool. I never thought of Sonic as a direct rival to Mario in the 90s. Yeah, the thing is, like, I didn't really either as someone who had like a Super Nintendo and a Sega Genesis because they were just very different styles of games. Like Sonic was mostly about going really fast, but also having little bits of intricate platforming here and there, whereas Mario was like a very like pure kind of platforming game. They just feel very different from each other. So to me, I caught on, I think, at an early age that they were very different games from each other. And I never really thought of them as like they're rivals when you compare with your friends on the playground. But when you compare the games themselves, it's very easy to see the differences between the two of them, and why there's not even really a way to compare them. Sonic Boom is my jam. Yeah, Dave, actually, I love also when they brought Sonic into Super Smash Brothers. They actually brought Sonic Boom along with them when you played the Sonic stage. So of course I had set Super Smash Brothers that if you're ever playing the Sonic, if you're ever playing the Sonic stage when I'm playing Smash Brothers, it always plays Sonic Boom and nothing else. Although I was actually disheartened a little bit because I think they removed it for Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, but it was in the original. I think it was in Brawl when Sonic came out. Also, we've got this I love how they have experimented with like this 3D kind of special stage rather than kind of the other special stages. Although Sonic has always really tried like with its special stages to do 3D stuff. Come on. There we go. It's the best song in Smash. Well, I don't know. I might have to argue with you a little bit. I also love the Metroid music too. And I actually almost prefer it over Sonic Boom, but Sonic Boom's pretty darn good. It's like comparing Zelda to Final Fantasy. Yeah, I mean, it's or just, you know, Dragon Quest to like any other, like Soul Hackers 2 or something like that. Like, they're so different from each other, despite the fact that they're still technically RPGs. Like, Mario and Sonic are still platforming games, but like they're very, very different types of platforming games, and not at all the same type of game at all. Also, I like in like the North American version with the music, they've got like this music with Robotnik where it has that voice that comes every once in a while. It's like, ho, 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 ho. It's really good. I need to get Frontiers at some point. Frontiers is pretty darn good. I'm actually really enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would going into it. It's just really fun to play. Even if the story is terrible, it's really fun. What is your favorite Marvel movie? Ooh, that's an interesting question. So here's the thing. I'm not like a huge fan of superheroes, so it's like kind of a tough question for me to answer. I think it's probably... Because if we're talking MCU... Well, first of all, I think my favorite Marvel movie is Blade. Like, based off any of the Marvel characters. Like, the original movie with Wesley Snipes. I love that movie. In fact, like, the Blade trilogy, I really like that trilogy of movies. But if I had to pick an MCU movie to be my favorite, you know, Marvel movie, it's probably Infinity War or Spider-Man Homecoming are probably my favorites. I like those movies a lot. But I also really like Spider-Man. And also the original Iron Man is still really, really good too. I love that movie a lot. But I'm just not really like a huge comic guy at all. Or if I'm into comic stuff, it's mostly, you know, graphic novel or manga stuff. And not really traditional superheroes. I'm not really like a traditional superhero kind of person. Which I know kind of breaks Sean's heart a little bit when I tell him about that. Just like when I tell him I don't like pirates either. He thinks that's weird. Also, I'm having so much fun with Sonic CD. We might just end up playing this for the full, you know, hour. Because we got about an hour left probably in the stream. Because we do need to get ready for Extra Life this evening. We're going to be giving away some prizes, which is going to be fun. Also, I totally like this music in the past for this level. Like all the stages actually in this area have great music. I've been playing a lot of Marble Snap, Crypt of the Decorator, and Shovel Knight Dig. Ooh, those are some good choices. Crypt of the Decorator is one that I played a ton when it came out because I love music games. And I just remember having just a ton of fun going through that. And then when they did Cadence of I think it was Cadence of Hyrule, I think, the rhythm game for Zelda. That was really awesome too. Marble Snap I just haven't had a chance to play yet. I do kind of want to play it though before Game of the Year happens later this year though. At some point. And then Shovel Knight Dig I haven't had a chance to play yet, but I love Shovel Knight. And I just haven't had a chance to play Dig specifically yet. Also, my favorite Marvel movie is the first Ghost Rider. It's not very often you hear someone say that they love Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider. But again, if you really like the character, it's probably the best you're going to get to getting like a real version of Ghost Rider on the silver screen. Unless they do Ghost Rider again. I'm actually curious to know if they, you know, bring Ghost Rider back for, you know, Phase 5 or something. Especially because they're doing Blade and some of the other stuff building towards maybe Midnight Suns. So maybe they do Ghost Rider at some point. Yeah, Dave, I've been hearing really good things about Marvel Snap, and I love collectible card games. I've been playing, Magic the Gathering now for like 30 years, so I'm actually excited to always check out a new card game, but I always find like a lot of the licensed ones are always hit or miss, which is why I never jump into them right away. But again, I've heard a lot of good things about Marvel Snap, so I do really want to check it out at some point. Especially again, like it's good. I think that's one of those games that's like a dark horse for, the Game of the Year discussion. Maybe not being the Game of the Year itself, but talking about it as like one of the 10 best games of the year. It might actually sneak in there for a lot of people. Stuck there. Again, like as we're playing, I'm just bopping my head as we play because the music is just really good. It's campy but a great popcorn action movie. It's a dude with a flaming skull riding bikes and fighting demons. Again, the prospect of like a Ghost Rider movie is really, really cool. And yeah, like if you go into it probably with the just knowing it's a cheesy movie, you're probably gonna have a great time watching it. It's just like, when they did the second Ghost Rider movie as well, like we were like, what the heck are they doing there? But like, again, it's like if you go in the mindset knowing that it's gonna be like a very like kind of schlocky, B-movie style movie, with Nicolas Cage as like a dude with a flaming skull, you're like, okay, that's not a bad movie. Mobile game of the year for sure. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine so. Again, I don't play too many mobile games though, so that's just a space I just don't really know a lot about, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like if I play Marvel Snap at all, it'll actually probably end up being on PC rather than on phones. And this guy is playing hard to get. There we go. With 9 seconds to spare, we got our second time emerald. They're called in this game. Second one doesn't stack up. Yeah, I'm not saying it's as good of a movie as the first one, but again, I still think there's something to enjoy there if you are like, if you know that it's just like a really, really bad movie. Like I think just like going into really bad movies, you can still have some fun. I'm also the type of person that just like really bad movies from time to time. Like I sometimes get in that mood where I'm like, I need to watch something like truly awful and just have like a good laugh. And sometimes Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance can be that movie. Although, a lot of times I'd rather just go watch, if I want to watch a crazy Nicolas Cage movie, I just go watch Vampire's Kiss instead. Because that movie is just nuts. Also, we've got a boss, straight out of Sonic Spinball, we got basically this pinball boss we gotta deal with here. I used to hate this boss as a kid. Because it's so annoying just to get up there to where he is at the very top there. Because you have to have you have to be on the exact part of the pillar because they built these areas too narrow, I think, for Sonic, for this boss to be enjoyable. Are the soundtracks the only good things about Sonic games? No. I genuinely think Sonic games are fun to play, besides the soundtracks. I mean, but again, this is someone who grew up with Sonic. I mean, I had a Super Nintendo at the time, but believe it or not, I actually enjoyed playing my Genesis more than the Super Nintendo. I was that one person out of 10 that you find out there that would ever say that. But I just like playing Sonic. I like the feel of Sonic games. I just like the act of playing them, and I just like the style of the Sonic games as well. Again, it's not trying to be Mario. It's trying to do its own thing. It's got its own attitude as well. And, you know, Sonic's fallen on dark times with some of his newer games. But I don't know. There's something about Sonic I just really enjoy some of Sonic's older games. But anyways, I think we've played enough Sonic for a little while. I think we're gonna go back to the main menu and try out some of this other stuff, because there's some more stuff I want to show off. So before we kind of settle into another game that we've watched kind of proper, I want to play an intro to a game that, again, I have a game that I didn't realize was a thing until earlier today, and I was like baffled. I'm like, why did I not know this is this thing that exists? So this game's Silky Lip. Again, it only came out in Japan, so it's not a game we can really play because it's like a RPG adventure game essentially. But this is like a magical girl game, and we got to check out this intro because this intro is really good. It's got some great music too. And of course we got like the Japanese Sega CD intro with the Japanese games, which is great. Riot. That wasn't the game that said that. I said that. My favorite game intro is Monster Bite. That's a pretty good one too. Not Sonic Boom level good. Oh, trust me, we're getting into it now. Because, again, I don't know. I love anime. I love, like, cheesy J-pop. And this is just really good. Still no? You're not into it? I mean, it's no Sonic Boom, but this is great. Come on. Come on, this is great. I'm intrigued as to what the lyrics say. Absolutely, I need to know what's going on with magical girl. Look at that. This game has its own like anime intro with like the different like episodes, just like Sailor Moon. Oh my god, this is so good. Oh, this is so good. Wonder if you can find it in English. Actually, I looked, Dave, before starting this. I'll actually show off what this game actually is. By the way, this is like an RPG where you play as a magical girl. Which, of course, again, this is like the type of game I totally want to play. In fact, there was a game that just came out. This is where the madness lies. From Z-Boyd Games, the maker of Cosmic Star Heroine. And they just put out a magical girl like Sailor Moon parody game that's also like based off Shakespeare. So that just came out, I think, today. So I'm excited to check that one out because I love Sailor Moon and a lot of other magical girl kind of shows as well. So I would totally want to play a game like this. Unfortunately, though, Dave, there's no English translation for this. I don't think anyone's gone through and put together like an English translation for this game. So unfortunately, it's just one of those things where we just can't really play it. There's not even really a guide out there we can follow to be like that someone who understands Japanese wrote for us to kind of go through the game in its current state, unfortunately, which is too bad because I kind of wish we could play that. But let's see, what should we check out next? Even just the song. Yeah, I mean, again, the song lyrics are probably out there somewhere if we do some looking. But that's really interesting. I kind of want to, I think we should play some Ranger X. I hope everyone's okay with me playing some Ranger X. I really like this game. For folks that have never played this game, this is like a game where you play as a dude in a mech suit, and you're out to basically save this woman that gets kidnapped. And it's just a really fun game. Great music in this game too, by the way. But super fun to play, and I'm glad they didn't include this in the Genesis Mini 1, because this game actually takes advantage of the 6-button controller to basically control your side-of-side companion as well. Yeah, it's just really cool. So let's just jump into the game. Proper. So we've got this little car buddy that we can use, and if we hop inside the car, it basically has like homing attacks that we can use, and then we have a bunch of different special abilities and stuff available to us when we pop out of the car, which is really cool. But again, this music might sound familiar if you've watched my unboxing video, because this is the stage music I used for the music in that video. This was a game that, like, I remember us seeing at Costco one day, Sam's Club, I guess, was like at the time, and we were just like, oh, that looks pretty cool. There's like a mech dude on the front, and he's got like a laser gun. Let's just grab this random game because I'm sure it's pretty fun. And we took it home and played it a ton because it's just really, really, really fun to check out. But it's a game that I know just a lot of people like slept on at the time, and I don't hear a lot of people actually talk about Ranger X when they're talking about like really good Genesis games now. So I think it's a game just a lot of people forgot even exists. It's just out there, somewhere just waiting to get, ported in some kind of modern day collection as well. Kind of just go to health pickup. We're going to change to our flamethrower here. This is way easier actually to fight this guy in the car. Also, gotta love, since this is a Genesis game, gotta love those like 3D vector graphics to kind of illustrate where you're traveling to between all of the different levels, which it just looks really silly today. But it's nostalgic for someone like me to play the game. It's showing us like the target that we got to take out in this level. This key music is really good too. I actually really dig this music. hopefully with this age of older games being localized, we see that last game being brought back. Yeah, absolutely. Like that seems like Silky Lips, believe it or not. You know, that's a really like silly name, but it seems like the type of game I totally want to play. Like I would love to see something like that get like even if, you know, Retrobit, for example, which does a lot of like retro re-releases, I would love to see them maybe do like a English localization, English localized version with on like an actual cart and everything. I think that would be like really sweet. Have you looked up the new Kirby thing? No, I haven't. But I also haven't really played a lot of Kirby, so I'm actually not too familiar with the new Kirby theme, if I'm being perfectly honest. I love this mechanic with the light, where we've got these worms that deal a ton of damage to me, but they are weak against the light that's there. And then we're gonna go back up here and refuel a bit. But yeah, there's actually like so many games out there that just never got a North American release, and that don't have English translations on the internet. And that's something I would love to see, you know, more companies actually try and do, because like a lot of the design works there, and a lot of the games actually hold up gameplay wise. So it's just a matter of going through and doing the localization, which is, you know, no easy task, of course. But you know, if the only thing you need to develop is a localization and then just making sure that they run, you know, correctly on modern consoles, I don't think that, you know, you need to worry about putting too much of an investment in it for that. Also, another thing, we're getting a lot of, you know, SEGA movies coming out. Where's our Silky Lips movie? When is that coming out? We need, the people demand a Silky Lips movie. We need a Silky Lips movie from SEGA. Rock out of the way. Oh my god. No! Those worms really hurt. What's everyone up to tonight, anyways? I'm curious. Besides, you know, watching me, are you playing any other games right now? Is everyone out there playing God of War? What's everyone's night looking like? I'm curious. You know, for me, I kind of went out and I had a day outside the house today. I was, you know, getting a haircut because I'm still kind of on vacation from work at the moment. So mostly, again, just, you know, went out, actually shaved today, got a haircut, went to the mall. You know, picked up The Running Man on 4K today, one of my favorite Arnold movies, and kind of just had like a pretty good day today. And I hope everyone out there is having a good day today. Boss incoming. That laser really hurts when you get hit. So I gotta do my best to kind of avoid it a bit. Bam! I'm working sadly. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'm actually, McBale, I'm actually the type of person that actually works in the evening usually anyways. I mean, unless, of course, your time zone is completely different from me. But usually I'm working from like 3 in the afternoon until like 11 o'clock at night. It's usually my shift at work. So I hear you. It's not a good time to be working. I'm listening to podcasts, playing games, and just finished supper. Oh, nice. What do you first of all, what are you playing? And also, what kind of podcasts do you listen to? I'm curious. Yeah, it's 10 a.m. here. Good point. I keep forgetting. Like, this is actually like a pretty friendly stream time for, a lot of the other side of the world as well, since it is so early in the day. Well, next up, I've passed Mega Panel a couple times, and I'm like, I need to know what this game is. This Buddy Girl's on the front here, playing with puzzle blocks. I'm guessing it's a puzzle game, but I've never played this game, so I need to find out. We need to know what Mega Panel is. So this is a Namco game when they were called Namcot. Ooh, one-person exercise, or one. We're not going to do the pin-up. One-person exercise. Okay, all these lessons are in Japanese, so let's do lesson 1, I guess. What? What is this game? Like, I can't even see where my cursor is at this point. I can't even really see what I'm selecting. Did some stuff there. There we go. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this a little bit. It's weird because, again, like, I guess, like, my cursor is, like, the empty space here. Apparently I cleared that round, and the weird cowboy that's, playing a guitar around a fire in the middle of the screen is just doing things. The games mentioned above, a lot of paranormal horror and gaming podcasts. Oh, that's cool. I always like hearing what other podcast people listen to, because, I'm always very focused on either listening to gaming podcasts or movie podcasts. Like, that's kind of, my jam now. Especially because, like, as I do more and more game podcasts, I'm not really, listening to as many game podcasts anymore. So it's always fun to hear what other stuff people are listening to as well. Alright, so we gotta get this cursor back, not kind of stuck there in the corner. It's like reverse Tetris. You're not wrong about that. That is kind of what we're doing here. Again, it's really awkward to control a bit, but it's interesting. Also, again, I don't know what's going on with that camel's face that's in the background. He seems like very excited to see us. Also, the horizontal controls are inversed, or reversed. So I don't understand what that's all about either, but it's kind of tripping me up a bit. Ah, and we died. And it broke that poor cowboy's guitar. Okay, back and can ask, how's the system run? What? How's the system running, Lachlan? Is that what you're asking? I mean, the system's pretty fun. We're learning a lot about games I didn't really know anything about, like Mega Panel, which is this weird like reverse Tetris game that's Japan only. That's the thing. Let's see, what else do we want to try out here? Yes, the SEGA system. It's pretty. I'm not gonna lie, Lachlan. First of all, it controls super smoothly. I love the interface. I was a little bit worried that maybe there'd be some latency. And it'd be hard to control some of the games, but honestly, it's been smooth sailing so far. And again, I've just gotten to learn about a lot of games I just didn't know about, which is really cool as well. But also we got to show off some interesting stuff. Now, the one thing I want to do next, we got to play another intro because I've played Lunar multiple times. I love this game, but I've never played the Japanese intro before or played the Japanese version of the game. So I'm curious to know what the intro is like, because it's got like a groovy, like very cheesy North American intro, and I kind of want to know what this Japanese one is like. This is new. Welcome to the world of Lunar, where a man and strangers are living. Oh, this is all new. Like there's not like a Game Arts logo like this in the North American version or Studio Alex. This is all new to the Japanese one. In fact, that's normally where the intro would have played. Is there not an intro in the Japanese one? I wonder. Yeah, there's the animated intro is only in the North American version. That is so weird. All right, I'm going to turn the game back down again. I was expecting like a moving and grooving kind of intro that we could have had here. But no, we didn't get anything. It's just a Japanese role-playing game in Japanese that we can't play. So Silky Tip is the best so far. Yes, Big Bale. Silky Tip. Oh, it's so good. Lockcliff. I don't know if you knew this, but there's this game called Silky Tip. Silky Lip. For the SEGA CD. It only came out in Japan. It's a Japanese role-playing game where you play as a magical girl, so kind of like Sailor Moon. And you're at this like magical girl academy and stuff, and it has this like really great like anime intro to it. It's so good. I just discovered it today. All right, what do we want to check out next? Oh, speaking of good music, I mean, when in Rome, we gotta play Night Trap. This is the SEGA CD stream. We gotta play Night Trap because everyone loves the Night Trap song, otherwise known as Night Trap. I've briefly looked for translated lyrics and can't find them. Yeah, again, I was looking earlier for like any kind of translation stuff from the game at all, and I just wasn't finding anything. Like, no one out there is wanting to translate that game. Barry J. Alperson and Tom Zito present a Hasbro production of a James Riley U-Direct film. I can't believe they actually trademarked, U-Direct as like a thing. All right, we gotta look for the spooks, you guys. Where are the spooks hiding? I totally missed them. Let's see if we can catch them somewhere else. Now this is a classic SEGA CD game. Like, just going around, checking all the different cameras. trying to capture these vampires. I do prefer kind of the modern version of Night Trap because you can actually see the cameras at the same time. Like you can see the camera feeds while in different rooms. So it's just so much easier to play like the modern remake of Night Trap.
I was young once too, you know. You are a very special boy. We both know that. But you must start doing your job. We all...
Ah, we got him! He tried to go out the window, but it was too late. Alright. Where are they? Also, I totally want the girls to get in the house because we want them to sing Night Trap. We gotta watch them, sing Night Trap. Even though, we let the vampires in while watching it, but...
Check out the book.
I am so embarrassed.
Susanna.
They're here.
Looks like a healthy bunch.
Yes, it should be a good weekend.
Too bad we must visit the Oggs tonight. I'd much...
I'm not gonna lie, this game would have totally benefited from having subtitles because it's such a quiet game.
No way. I've been looking forward to this all week.
Sarah, this is beautiful by the lake.
So we need more vampires to come up. We need to catch more of them. Oh, here we go. Let's catch this guy. Ha! Thought you could sneak in here, you crazy vampires. I'm just gonna slide you down the stairs. Essentially, to be good at Night Trap or be able to get through it, you kind of have to memorize where all the vampires are, and then just know like where you're supposed to be clicking at exactly at the right time. Because if you don't do it in like the exact order, you're not gonna be able to catch enough to be able to win. Also, that's like a really silly trap there with like the closet. It just comes out and then knocks him out the window. Ha! Thought you could get in here, you silly vampires.
Is this the freezer?
Oh, no, no, no.
Again, I can't believe like this like very silly game here in Night Trap caused like such a huge controversy when it came out, because it's just so silly. Like it's just as like violent as something like Power Rangers is, or even less violent than something like that. Like it's not even scary. It's meant to be like totally goofy and weird.
Oh, Sarah.
Like, even the death scenes are, like, super silly in this game.
Night, darling.
Good night, Sarah.
Ha, you didn't expect the reversible bookcase, did you?
Oh, Victor, you monster. Let's have the boys change the code to be safe.
I've never seen a game like this. Yeah, this is a unique one. Again, this is one of the games that contributed to the ESRB being a thing, because people just couldn't handle the level of, you know, violence and depravity this game caused, I guess. They weren't ready for goofy looking vampires walking around in like rubber suits in their video games. Come on, walk towards the bookcase. There you go.
What could possibly go wrong? Come on, darling, the augurs are waiting.
Right.
What could possibly go wrong?
Sarah, your parents are leaving.
So, Sarah, we're in this huge house with all your friends. We have telephones, we have a car, your parents are gone, and you say so?
I missed them. Let's see if I can catch them in the bedroom. I thought that's where they went, but I guess not. Oh, here we go.
Yeah!
We got to turn it up for this. We got to turn it up for this. Look her play that tennis racket. I look away for a second, come back to this. What's happening right now? It's Night Trap, Lockwood. They're singing the song about Night Trap. Looks like Saved by the Bell or something. That is kind of what's going on here, Lockwood.
What's this? We got problems.
And my gracious brother, Jeff.
I think someone's taking control of the system.
We'll see if you can get it fixed. If not, we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way.
I could take all weekend. I got plans.
Yeah. Come on, everyone. I'll show you to your room. Okay. Lisa. Bye. Come on, Lisa.
All right, we gotta find the augurs because they're sneaking around this house. Although we by the way, if you watch like the intro or if you watch them do the Night Trap song, you actually lose the game. So it's one of those things where we've lost already. So at some point, someone's gonna break in here and be like, "How dare you let these kids die? What's going on?"
Hey, this is wonderful. Great. Oh, now this is my favorite bedroom.
Great. Sarah, this is really nice.
I'm glad you like it.
And what a great view.
It really is. Hey, can I use this closet? Oh, sure, go ahead. Okay. Hey, Sarah, where's your bedroom? Oh, it's downstairs. Yeah, this place seems awfully large. Do you have a big family? No.
So
just
it's a
my
scary
parents, my
game?
brother, and me.
I mean,
but you never know who
it's
might
supposed to
drop in.
be? Question
Oh, wow,
mark?
you guys, this is
It's very goofy
And what about Tony?
and very tongue-in-cheek,
Oh, Tony
very
should see for the
self-aware of what it
summer.
actually is.
You know, I think he likes Ashley.
Really?
Yes. You can see it in his eyes.
But he's wearing sunglasses.
I mean, you can tell by his face.
And his bod.
Yeah.
Sarah, what is this?
It's like some
Oh.
weird triangle on
My
a
father
string.
collects weird things. I'll get it.
Wow, let's check it out.
Did Megan invite somebody?
Your boots.
Me boat, boat, oh. Me boat, ain't it a beauty? Built it myself.
Now, we haven't seen it.
Look at all the pretty girls. Is everything all right here, hey?
Oh, this guy's dead. Well, I didn't save everybody. I'm sorry.
Why you wear those?
I'm scared, but not in the traditional sense. Yeah. He discovered a dead body.
About a boat.
Well, let's go get something to eat, guys.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Just try to relax. Try to stay calm, okay? Something is going on here. I know. I can feel it.
Something's going on there. There's
Check it
creeping
out.
vampires in like rubber suits running around this place.
Okay inside, except no sign of Jason, over.
Okay.
Some ice cream.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Ice cream. Sundays.
We didn't buy
Oh, they're gonna get Sundays, you
I know,
guys.
I know.
Look,
Crushed cookies
look,
and ice cream.
Sundays.
You guys will love it.
cookies.
Great. Yeah, you get the cookies.
Oh, right here.
You can top it with this.
Oh, thank you.
Until they open the cabinet and see the dead bodies just sitting there. Well, I would stay on that scene, but I don't want to get us kicked off YouTube tonight. I would prefer not to do that, so we'll just let that person,
Another problem.
get taken
I
out.
found
It's
a
fine.
tricord upstairs.
A what?
An auger tricord.
Hey, you guys want some?
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
There's cookies in that ice cream. You can't really tell because it's super blurry, but it's something.
So what do you think, you guys?
Oh, it's delicious.
My creation.
It's gross. Hey, where's Kelly?
I don't know.
And that's where the game ends. That's the game over screen, folks.
I don't believe what I just saw. Those bloodsuckers just got Lisa, and you had a chance to save her. I put the lives of those girls in your hands, and you screwed up. I'm pulling the plug on you before you do any more damage.
We got scolded, you guys. That's what happens. But yes, to answer your point, Lachlan, what you actually do, the whole point of this game, the whole point of Late Trap is you use the cameras to switch between different areas, and as the dudes in the rubber suits like get over certain points, like a meter will turn red, and you have to basically slam on the B button on your controller to then activate the traps in the house to then trap the vampires. So that's the idea. That's how you save the girls. Is you have to do that. But it's all about memorization because it's like a split second that you can catch them at, and if you're not like on the right scene at the right moment in order to catch them, then you lose them. And when too many of them stack up, or if you don't catch every single one of them, then you just lose. You'll eventually lose someone along the way, and it just goes back to game over. So it's like a game that's all about memorization. Although again, there's like a modern like re-release of Night Trap, and what they did is they took the camera feeds that you saw that were just still images, and then actually replaced them with the full motion video on each of the icons. so you can actually see what's happening in the other rooms while you've got like the main video up, essentially. So that's like they actually made it like much easier in the re-release of Night Trap to do that. I can barely handle Barney Memory Match. Yeah, pretty much. That like even someone like me who's played Night Trap a ton of times, like I don't have any of that stuff memorized. So I really don't. I don't know how you do that without basically having like sitting down with a guide and playing that game. Like I just don't know how you do it without playing the modern version of the game. But let's see. All right. Actually, I would check out the Lunar 2 intro, but I know that one has nudity in it, so we don't want to play that on stream. Let's do some Outrun to kind of close things out. Outrun's a fun racing game. Look at this little picturesque piece. Again, stark contrast from what we were just playing. All right, what music do we want? Splashing Wave, Step on the Beat, or Passing Breeze? I love how they give you like these song titles, and it's like they're playing them on the radio because of the dial going, but you can't hear them ahead of time. You just have to assume that you're going to want to listen to the music that's there.
Get ready.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want ice cream now, though. I mean, clearly, like, that was one delicious-looking ice cream dish that they had going on there. It was literally just, actual cookies in ice cream is what they were eating. Also, even though, like, older racing games are not usually, like, super fun to go back to, I don't know, there's something about Outrun with it, where it's, like, the music or kind of, like, the very, like, chill and kind of relaxed style of the game. But it's always fun to go back to this game. It's still pretty fun to play it even today, even though it is kind of like an older racing game. And older racing games are just, tougher to go back to.
Checkpoint.
Also, the music for this game also found its way into, the Sega version of Picross that's on the Nintendo Switch, which of course just, gets me super nostalgic when I'm playing, that version of Picross on Switch. God, that's such a good version of Picross. We almost hit those trees. But even though you're like trying to race towards the end here, though, I don't know, it's just very chill playing this game. And we're almost out of time, so we are not going to make the checkpoint. I did go to the tougher course there, but music is pretty good. Yeah, I agree. In fact, let's do it again, but I'll only show off one of the other tracks, one of the more classic tracks in this game. So we'll do. We're gonna do Passing Breeze.
Get ready.
She couldn't get out of the way of those cars. Yeah, like it's one of those things where like back in like looking back, like a lot of people who only mostly play Super Nintendo look back on the Genesis, and one of the things that people always like to put out is like they don't really like the music in Genesis games, but I don't know, there's just something about like that very like bassy kind of music sound that you get from only really from Genesis games that I don't know, I just really like the music that the Genesis soundchip is able to put out there. So it's always cool to go back to games like this because there's a lot of Genesis games I think that have good music beyond something like Outrun here, or even Sonic CD that we were playing earlier. And then it just like I think it got amped up to the next degree when we got Sega CD games, and then we were getting like CD quality Genesis music. So it just gave that opportunity for that music to just shine so much more on the CD platform. Also in the Genesis Mini 2, there are some musical enhancements with some of the songs as well. So this is like, the music in Outrun, for example, is upgraded from its original version as well. So it actually has like a cleaner sound than the original release, which is also like a really cool thing that they did for this console. It's just one of many little like nice things that they did that really just help like the play experience of some of these games, like going back to them today. Like you definitely tell again, like someone at Sega, like whoever designed this console at Sega really like loved the idea of doing these mini consoles and put a lot of love into into how these games should be played today with a lot of this stuff. Oh, we got a zigzag pattern here. Both of these second courses are actually pretty tough. We only got halfway through that. We got even less far on that one than the clouds area. All right, we're gonna play with Magical Sound Shower.
Get ready.
Getting those drums in there. Oh, man. That's really good. I love the little drum fills that are in the music, too. Oh, such a nice touch. Yo, Charles. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely evening, good sir. Lovely Thursday evening. Just throwing it up there. We were playing some Outrun. Just chilling to the beats. Although this stream, unfortunately, is going to be coming to an end probably after this race, because we do have to get ready for the Extra Life giveaway stream, which is happening in about half an hour. But the Genesis Mini 2, really, really, really awesome. I'm actually really enjoying this console a lot, and I have a lot of good things to say about it with our review coming up, I think. Especially after tonight, because like I think there's some really good stuff in this console. And there's also some weird Japanese releases that we got to experience tonight too, which is just super cool. Who approved this stream? Hello, Sean. I mean, Sean, you came in here at the right time when I'm playing Outrun, a racing game. When you could have been here when we were playing Night Trap, or when we were playing Sonic CD, or we were playing the Japanese-only Magical Schoolgirl RPG. It's been an evening, dude. It's been an evening, dude. This isn't Farming Simulator. No, it's not. I mean, it's almost like the thumbnail didn't lie about what we were playing tonight, Sean. All right, we're doing good so far. I think we might be able to hit the checkpoint if we don't screw up the zigzag. And we screwed up the zigzag. Where is Sonic Spinball? Believe it or not, Sean, first of all, you're not the first person tonight to ask about Sonic Spinball, but Sonic Spinball is not on the Genesis Mini 2 because it was on the first Genesis Mini, and they didn't want to put it on it twice. We're going to go to the left. Ooh, now we're in the desert. And we did not make the checkpoint. We were so close. Like, the checkpoint was, like, literally right there. And we missed it. We basically watched TV earlier too, Sean. Yeah, we did play Night Trap earlier, which is basically like watching a movie, essentially. I was going to say no Spinball, no buy. Yeah, I mean, if you go down here, Charles, the only Sonic game that's on this collection is Sonic CD. In the North American Genesis Mini, you actually get Sonic 3D Blast and then Sonic CD. But we do not have Sonic Spinball in this collection, I'm afraid. The less Sonic, the better. I don't know, MGBL. I really like Sonic. Especially Sonic 1 and 2 are really good. But, you know, Sonic CD is still, like, the best OG Sonic game anyways. And the fact that it's in here is still really good. So, I'm happy with what we got. Is it the Japanese soundtrack for Sonic CD? Well, actually, Charles, fun fact, you get the European version, the North American version, and then if I do this, you get the Japanese version. Because since I have the Japanese console, if you switch it to Japanese language, you get all the games in Japanese. So yeah, it's totally up to you whether you like the Japanese versions or not. And likewise, it's got the Japanese versions of all the games in this collection as well, which is pretty cool. But again, also there's also some games that are just Japanese only in this collection. So even if I, you know, pop it over to English, it's still not going to have them there. Because like these Lunar games, for example, only exist as Japanese titles. But also, I was showing this off earlier. But Charles, you might get out of this. So I changed the language to French or any of the European languages. It actually does the Mega Drive 2 interface, and then it has like all the European versions of the games here as well. So even though Sonic actually gave us the European option off the start, not every game does that. But if you do this, we can play all the games in as their European counterparts as well, which is pretty cool. Well, anyways, you know, to close things out, to end the stream, there's only one thing we need to do to close out this stream. And I mean, people who were here earlier, you know that this is a thing. Know that Silky Lip is a thing. It's a new thing. We're very excited about this game, and we need to hop back into Silky Lip to close the stream before, of course, at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So in 25 minutes from now, we will be doing a Extra Life stream to draw the winners for Extra Life. So don't forget to come back for that. But MG Bale, of course, knows what's coming. They know some things are coming here. We're jumping back into Silky Lip because we have to. We have to. Gotta wait for it to load. It's loading that CD. It's like the CD spinning. I can hear the CD doing some spinning here. I mean, Sean, what did you expect from a Ryan Turford stream? Of course you're getting something like this.
年頃だものいろいろと悩み事などありますけど毎日出会うサプライズくよくよしてる暇はないの世界のどこかでめくるめくときめきが待っているリラルルラリルルリラルルリップリップは魔法の女の子リッリこんにちは私リップ11歳辛いことや悲しいこともあるけど
Sean, what are you doing
私
over
負け
there?
ないだって女の子だもん
And there you go, the intro to Silky Lip, a game that only came out in Japan, a game that I really want to play, but unfortunately there is no English translation of this game, because it is a Japanese-only magical school RPG, or where you play as a magical girl, going to school, and it's a role-playing game, and it, you know, it pains me, Sean, that there is no English version of this game. Unfortunately, it makes me sad. To be honest, it is quite impressive that they got this whole thing on the Mega Drive. Well, again, this is a Mega CD game, so this is actually like a CD-based game that we got here. Like you don't usually get cinematics like that on, you know, standard SEGA Genesis games. Like that's very much like a Sega CD kind of thing. Get Duolingo and learn Japanese, Ryan. I mean, it's not a bad idea. I mean, again, we've got Shin Megami Tensei sitting right here. Unfortunately, it's just not translated either. And the Lunar games are there. Like, there's a lot of great, you know, Japanese-only games in this collection. That makes me sad, unfortunately, that we can't read what's going on there. Yeah, Charles, what they did as well in this collection is there's actually a bunch of Sega CD games. Like, if we do this, it's lists all of the Sega CD games here at the top. We got, you know, Captain Tsubasa, you know, based off the soccer anime, you know, Echo the Dolphin on Sega CD, Final Fight, the Lunar games, Night Trap, Popful Mail. There's some good games on Sega CD on this collection. But anyways, fine folks, I hope everyone had fun tonight watching me, you know, go down the rabbit hole that is the Sega CD SEGA Genesis Mini 2. Again, we'll probably have a review for it either this weekend or early next week. I'm going to be putting that together because I'm just really like super excited to talk about this console because I think it's really awesome, and it's a shame too that they didn't, you know, bring them out in a much larger supply here in North America. These were like really hard to get, and in fact, like if you didn't pre-order it, you just don't get one because they're not selling them on shelves or anything like that, or even on Amazon. They closed down the orders for these, unfortunately. But anyways, stick around on here at youtube.com/Carpool Gaming. We will be coming back in 20 minutes for our extra live stream. Don't forget to check that out. Until then, friends, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'm Ryan Turford, and I'm out.